back to my channel. We are on our way to the grocery store to purchase some groceries. We still can't do very much inside my house. We've had contractors come over for the roof, the sheetrock, for the paint, and they all came over to write up estimates for us so we can start getting the work done. Until that can happen, we're just kind of like sitting around. So I decided to go out into the store and get some items so I can make some comfort food for my grandchildren. And my grandchildren are back here. Say hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi, this is Keely and this is Ava. And we are on our way to the grocery store to purchase some items. We're gonna just drive now. We're gonna let you see some of the sights while we're driving. And when we get to the grocery store, we may be able to take you in. But in case we don't take you in, it's because the store is going to be so crowded. As usual, it's been crowded since this hurricane. But let's get started, guys, and I'll take you for the ride.
Hey guys, we just came back from the grocery store and we bought some items to make a bread pudding.
Yes, my grandchildren asked me while we were in the store if I would make them a bread pudding because they really love bread pudding. It's a New Orleans style recipe, and what we're going to do today is we're going to take you through the steps of making it for them. And I hope you enjoy it because it's a bread pudding that I really like. So if you like this video, I hope that you would
like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we post a new video.
Yes, so let's get started in making the bread pudding, and we'll walk you through the steps.
These are the ingredients you need for your bread pudding. A spoon, a whisk, 3 eggs, butter, crushed pineapples, vanilla extract, organic cinnamon, sugar, olive oil, evaporated fat-free milk with 2 cups of water mixed together, bread, and raisins.
We first started with our cream. We spread it into the bread and we evenly distributed it all over the bread. Then we took the whisk and we just mashed it in, making sure that the bread is getting moist by the milk, the cream. And we just keep stirring it and making sure that it is all moist with the bread. You can continually just stir it in as much as you want to, because as long as you're stirring it, it's going to soften. And once you see that it's soft, then your next step would be to crack your eggs. And I'm cracking 3 eggs. And when I finish cracking eggs, what I decided, I put the whisk, which I gotta clean it out because I see it's full of bread. And I'm gonna clean it all out. And then I'll take the whisk and I'm gonna scramble my eggs. So now I'm ready. I'm gonna scramble these eggs, 3 eggs. And I'm gonna pour them on top of the bread, evenly distribute that as well. Next, I'll mix that in, making sure that it goes all through the bread, making sure that we have it evenly inside the bread. You won't see it once I stir it all up. Yes, it also softens it. Then I'm going to use my margarine. So you can use butter or margarine, but in this case I'm using margarine. And it's pretty soft already, so I don't have a problem with it. So I'm going to take 3 forks full of it and put in there, and that makes it really moist. So 3 forks, and I'm going to use my whisk and I'm going to stir it in, making sure that I stir it in so that you won't see it anymore. Just it's going to be evenly stirred into it. Also, go around the sides of your pan to make sure everything is on off the sides, is all mixed in good. That's a good thing, to make sure it's all even and everything is mixed in together. So I'm mixing it all in. The next thing I'm going to use is my vanilla. Now you can use as much as you want or as little as you want. Let me open this container first. I didn't open it before we started. But I don't put much. You can measure it or you could just pour in some. In this case, I'm pouring in just a little bit, as you can see, just enough to show a little bit on top. But when you finish, you just start mixing it all in. Some people use a lot of vanilla, some use a little. It gives it a nice flavor, a nice vanilla flavor. But I don't want to use too much vanilla because I have pineapples as my flavor. So I just mix that vanilla in. Next, I'm going to put in my organic ground cinnamon. And again, you want to use that, but you don't want to use too much of that either. So I'm going to open it. I don't think I opened that either yet. So I'm going to take a minute to open up the container. Okay. And then I'm going to sprinkle this in. Sprinkle in just a little bit. If you wanted to use a measuring cup to measure it, I would say it was just like half a teaspoon. But just mix it in. It gives it kind of a good flavor. The flavor it gives is more like a cinnamon bun. So I use it, but I don't want to use too much today because of my other flavor. Next, I'm going to mix in, let me close this top up first. And next I'll mix in my main ingredient, which is what my grandchildren asked me to make. They love the pineapple flavored bread pudding. So I'm going to mix the pineapple flavor in to give it that real pineapple flavor. And I don't have to drain the pineapples because I want the juice from the pineapples as well. So I added that to it. It's just about an ounce. It's just about an ounce of pineapple that I used to blend in there. And I mixed that in very well as well, making sure I mix it completely in so the flavor can be throughout the bread pudding. That is then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put in raisins. My grandchildren, one likes a lot of raisins, the other one likes very little raisins. So what I'm going to do is not put a lot of raisins, just to give it a little raisin consistency, but not too much because one of them will not eat it and the other one will say she likes raisins. So I did 2 ounces of raisins, which sometimes I do 4 ounces. Or I even do more sometime when you could just see raisins just flowing all through it. That's the best kind of bread pudding. But because of my 2 little granddaughters, not one like it and one don't like it, I decided to just put a little bit of raisin in it. So I washed my raisins first. I didn't show you that, but I did. I washed my raisins and then I came back and started distributing them throughout the bread pudding. You won't see them as much as you would probably want to see them because of the change that I made in the recipe. But you can put more raisins. Now we're going to pour in our sugar. We're doing 3 cups of sugar. So this is 1 cup. Okay, here's the 2nd cup, and it's kind of coming out a little slow because it's a little clumpy in there. But we're going to pour out 3 cups. Okay, good. Now that's 2 cups, and we have 1 more cup to pour. And we're kind of running out of sugar, so I need to get some more sugar from my cabinet because it's not quite 3 cups. Okay, I'm putting in the last cup of sugar, which means it's 3 cups of sugar. And we're going to just stir that in and make sure it's evenly distributed. And make sure that you stir your sides of the bowl so that all the bread would get some of the sugar. Once you see it's getting really sweet looking, moist looking, you know it's ready. And after you're finished stirring it up really well, now we're going to take our pan and we're going to use the extra virgin olive oil, spray it all over the pan. Make sure it's all over your pan so that the bread won't stick to the pan. Then you can pour your ingredients in to the pan. It looks really good. It looks really sweet. Okay, and then we're going to put it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And that should work fine. You just keep an eye on it. Bread pudding out of the oven, and we want to show it to you. Oh boy, it looks pretty good. And it's going to take about 5 minutes to cool down. Sometime 10, but 5 minutes before I can serve it to my granddaughter.
Ooh, that looks so good. I'm so ready to dig in.
Okay. Well, you'll be able to dig in a minute.